Welcome to the Family Book Club podcast with Elizabeth Samsetti.
Parents struggle so much when a child is born. When parents begin to give birth to children, you know how much emotions they put into the upbringing of their children, okay? And this is why in the course of growing up, the relationship between parents and their children, a lot of emotions are involved, okay? This is why, like they say, every parent wants the best for their children. We hear that a lot from our parents. Hear the parents tell the child, I want the best for you, but when it gets to a point, even begin to, they talk so much that most especially when the parents want the child to do their bid, they say, I want the best for you in areas of career choice, which we are focusing on today, in areas of even choosing a life partner. Parents will always want to be on top of their game, trying to I'm your parents, I have seen it all, I have been through, I have passed through your age, and I have seen life much more than you have. So because of that, I think I know much more than you do, and let me make this choice for you because I always want the best for you. But my question is, who should be allowed to choose a career for their child? Is it the parents? Should the parents be allowed to make the career choice for their child? Should the child, him or herself, be allowed to make that choice? Okay, because that choice is really very important. Like I said, parents nurture their children, and let's not forget very quickly the efforts they put in the course of a child growing up. All right, and at the end of the day, like every parent will always tell you, we want our children to be bigger, to be greater, to be better off, to do much more than we ever will do, to succeed much more than we are succeeding or we have succeeded. All right, that's the dream of every parent. So no parent will deliberately make a wrong choice of career or of anything else for their child or for their children. All right, so we know that also there are in the course of from growing up for parents, they along the way they were not able to meet up with what it is they wanted to become with their career choice, and in some cases also their own parents, made a career choice for them, in which right now the state of their life where they are now parents and they now have children, they are not enjoying it. So these are scenarios where parents are supposed to learn from, so that they will not make the same kind of mistake their parents made for them, so that they will also equally not make the same kind of mistakes for their children. People have careers they do right now, they are not enjoying it because they were not allowed to read the course or to study the particular course of career that they wanted to have in life. All right, and there are other cases, there are scenarios also where children are allowed to make the choices of careers, and them too, they went wrong. Children make career choice for themselves, and along the line, they are not happy. They made wrong choices eventually, right? This is why I'm of the opinion that I think they should do it together. Parents should not impose careers on their children, and children should not just boycott their parents, from their inputs of their choice of career. All right, every child have their strengths. All children are not the same. Every child have their strengths. The areas of the strength of the parents may not necessarily be the areas of the strength of the children. I've seen parents, a whole family are lawyers. I've seen a whole family are doctors. The husband, the wife, the father, the mother, and the child or two children are doctors or lawyers. It happens. But what about the cases where these children did not inherit the same kind of career choice from their parents? It does happen. All right, this is why I believe that when a child is growing up, we see the areas where they are good. We know the areas of their weaknesses, and we know the areas of their strengths. This is where, as parents, we should be observant enough to notice this, to watch this. There are some children that sit down, they're effortlessly, they pick up a pencil and they draw very well. By a child that does that, you don't need to ask what that child will be very good at. that kind of a child, if he tells you, I want to study architecture or town planning, you shouldn't argue, because he does that effortlessly. There are children that they are very good at singing. They sing a lot. Their voice is sparkling. They sing. Others, they just begin to act drama out of play when they gather together. There are some that are good at mimicking people. There are others that write. They are very good. They construct. They write very well. Others speak English so very well. There are children that they can put one and two. They can just connect or add screws or together. You don't. That's such a child should not be far from taking an engineering course or picking up a career in engineering. So different strokes for different folks. Let's just learn to monitor them as they grow up, so that when it gets to that stage when they need to choose between arts and sciences, we should be able to monitor them, guide them. We as parents are meant to be guidance for them, guide them to make their right choices of study or course of study that will lead them to their future careers. So let's not be forceful to them to say, oh no, this is what I want you to do. And it was there was a child that was about to get an admission into the higher institution, into the university, and the child was going to go into an arm of science. I think into what was it that the child wanted to do, one of whether med lab or something, and the mother was like, no, why would you read med lab since we are on the medicine line, the sciences, why not study pharmacy? And the child was like, Mom, I'm not going to do well in pharmacy. I'm not good in chemistry. The child began to educate his mother on the courses, on the areas where he is not so good at. So, somehow I got to know, I was like, please allow him do what he wants to do, because you're not going to be the one that will be attending classes with him. If he goes there and he begins to do pharmacy and at a point he's not doing well, you will complain that he's not doing well. When he begins to get carryovers in his courses, you will not be there. He will be embarrassed, and at the same time, you will be wasting your funds. So let's allow our children to make the career choice for themselves. It's really very important. And by the way, by the time they make these choices for themselves, they'll be happy. They'll do it. They will be full of life. They won't be doing it like, oh, I was forced into doing this. Even if they eventually they graduate and they're into it, they'll do it nonchalantly. They will put in all their efforts. They won't put in all their mind there. They will not be happy. And the tendency for such to repeat itself when these children also become parents tomorrow for their children is there. But this is why we are saying, most importantly, if you are one of those that your parents were able to impose a particular kind of course upon, and that that has led you to the career that you are in right now, and it wasn't the career of your choice and you are not very happy, this message is for you. So please, let's endeavor to encourage our children, to monitor them, to choose. Let them be the ones to choose. Let us be, guide them to ensure that they make the right choice, so that they will not make errors in that aspect of their career choice. So this is where I'm ending today's topic. I'll see you in my next topic of discussion. My name is Elizabeth Samsedi.